الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على مولانا رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Today's khutbah will be only in English. For one main reason is we want to comment on the events which have happened recently in France and which are impacting the Muslims all over the world, including us today living in the UK. So, given the importance of these events, we want to go in a bit of length in commenting on those events and see what's the Muslim attitude towards those events. How do we need to deal with these situations? What should be our behavior in these matters? So, just to give you a bit of background before we start, you might have heard the story already that a history teacher, was killed in France. He was killed by one of his students because he was mocking the Prophet ﷺ. So the student, who is at a young age, he didn't accept it, he went and killed that teacher. So from that point onwards, a lot of events have happened, a lot of things, a lot of measures, a lot of decisions have happened, and we want to just give a bit of background before we go into the behavior that we should adopt. So following that, the French government have decided a number of measures, have decided a bunch of measures, among which the first one is that given that that history teacher was killed for one reason, which is mocking the Prophet, then let's make it our nation slogan. Let's go and mock the Prophet in all manners we can. This is not a wise decision. A wise person will not try to go and put a whole community in the spot just because of the act of one person. So they have taken the opportunity of all their media means to mock the Prophet ﷺ in all manners they can. They have used wide screens in the council-wide screens, to mock the Prophet in all manners they can. They have also tightened the measures on the Muslim community. Amongst these measures that they have taken in a very short amount of time, they have closed so many masjids which have probably no link whatsoever with any extremism or with any terrorist activities. Some figures are talking about 70 masjids being closed in probably 2-3 days amount of time. They have tightened as well measures on every single aspect of our Islamic and religious duties. Just to remind you about some years back, they have taken the opportunity to forbid wearing the scarf in the schools. So following that decision, a lot of Muslim community, a lot of people from the Muslim community decided to take their children out of the normal school because they cannot attend it while being in line with their religious duty. They have taken them out of the school and decided to homeschool them. The government now, knowing that the community is doing this, they are targeting them with a new law, which is you cannot even homeschool your children. You cannot even homeschool your children the way you want, but you have to put them in the school, and in the school they have to remove the scarf. So they are putting them on the edge of two decisions which are both impacting heavily the community. They have as well taken other opportunities and other measures in a very short amount of time and tightened so many measures on the community. And it just shows that probably these decisions were already there. Probably these decisions were already taken before any event had to happen. They are just taking the opportunity, they are just waiting for the opportunity to happen in order to decide whatever has already been decided, or to implement in another way what has already been decided. You can't come and no one can come and tell me in 2 days time, they have taken so many measures and they have already implemented them in a short amount of space, which shows just clearly that these decisions were already made and they were waiting for the right mistake to happen in the right time, from the right or the wrong person, probably, in order to go and implement those decisions. Is it the first time, is this the first time that non-Muslims are taking opportunities of mistakes happening from within the community to put the blame on everyone? This is not the first time. This is not the first time, and it's even a story which has happened at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, and the Quran talks about it. A similar situation has happened at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet has sent two of his companions. He has sent them with a mission. He didn't order them to kill anyone. He didn't order them to, or even allow them to kill anyone. But these two persons, when meeting with someone, and this believer, they have killed him unjustly. Quraysh, who was just expecting and waiting in a similar manner for the right opportunity to happen in order to blame and put the blame on the whole community, they have taken this opportunity and they have taken this action to say and to start spreading falsehood that the Muslim did not respect anything. They don't even respect the sacred months. There are 4 sacred months that Allah Azza wa Jalla has prescribed. These 4 sacred months, one of which is the month of Rajab. And they have killed this person in the month of Rajab. So, all kinds of falsehoods were spread against the community and against the Muslim community. Quran, what does the Quran say about it? It says clearly, يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الشَّهْرِ الْحَرَامِ قِتَالٍ فِيهِ. They ask you about fighting in the sacred months. قُلْ قِتَالٌ فِيهِ كَبِيرٌ. What has happened from the Muslim community, the mistake that these companions have done, that these few companions have done, is wrong. And Quran will tell the truth, no matter even if it is against the Muslim community. Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying clearly, قُلْ قِتَالٌ فِيهِ كَبِيرٌ. This is a great injustice. This is an act which cannot be allowed. This is an act which is forbidden. Allah Azza wa Jalla makes it clear in the verse. قُلْ قِتَالٌ فِيهِ كَبِيرٌ. However, وَصَدٌّ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَكُفْرٌ بِهِ وَالْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ وَإِخْرَاجُ أَهْلِهِ مِنْهُ أَكْبَرُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. But the way Allah Azza wa Jalla way things is different from the way the disbelievers, or even the way that humans weigh things. What is most important for Allah Azza wa Jalla is not the fact that one person was killed unjustly, but a whole community was being massacred just because of their belief. A whole community was taken out of Mecca just because of their belief, just because of their saying that Rabbuna Allah. A whole community was being a target of falsehoods just because of their faith. And Allah Azza wa Jalla says clearly, قُلْ قِتَالٌ فِيهِ كَبِيرٌ وَصَدٌّ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَكُفْرٌ بِهِ وَالْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ وَإِخْرَاجُ أَهْلِهِ مِنْهُ أَكْبَرُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. What he's saying is, averting people from the way of Allah, taking them out of their land just because of their faith, is greater in the sight of Allah than killing 1 or 2 people. It is definitely not allowed, it is forbidden, and Allah makes it clear at the beginning of the verse. يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الشَّهْرِ الْحَرَامِ قِتَالٍ فِيهِ. What have they done in killing those people unjustly? قُلْ قِتَالٌ فِيهِ كَبِيرٌ. This is wrong, this is not acceptable. However, the way the chaos has happened and the way the non-Muslims have dealt with this situation is even greater than killing 1 or 2 people. قُلْ قِتَالٌ فِيهِ كَبِيرٌ وَصَدٌّ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَكُفْرٌ بِهِ وَالْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ وَإِخْرَاجُ أَهْلِهِ مِنْهُ أَكْبَرُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. And then Allah Azza wa Jalla concludes the verse by saying, وَالْفِتْنَةِ أَكْبَرُ مِنَ الْقَتْلِ. And the chaos that the disbelievers were trying to make out of this single situation, the chaos that the disbelievers were trying to make out of this single occurrence, is even greater than killing 1 or 2 people unjustly. What does a person who is at a very young age has to do with the whole community, has to do with our beautiful religion? He is not representative of the community. His act cannot be taken as being representative of the texts of our beautiful religion. The community condemns such acts out loud, and I do the same. Exactly in the same manner that Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying, قُلْ قِتَالٌ فِيهِ كَبِيرٌ, and they say that what has happened is wrong. We cannot kill someone unjustly. Allah Azza wa Jalla makes it clear in every single verse you open that is talking about killing someone, you will find the word unjustly. And it's not up to me or to anyone to decide what is unjustly. It's up to our textual laws to decide what is unjustly. Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying, وَلَا تَقَتُلُوا النَّفْسَ الَّتِي حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ, and do not kill the soul. And Allah Azza wa Jalla did not mention in this verse the Muslim. He did not mention the believer, mu'min. He mentioned the soul. وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا النَّفْسَ الَّتِي حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ. Killing unjustly a soul is absolutely forbidden. And we need to speak of the truth in the same way as the verse has spoken of the truth. We will not let the hatred that is spread by the French country preventing us from telling the truth, preventing us from saying out and loud that killing one person is not allowed, no matter what justification can be given to it, no matter under which context someone might try and fill it in. Allah is saying clearly that وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا النَّفْسَ الَّتِي حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ. Right. Now, why am I saying all of this? Why am I interested in commenting on events which are happening elsewhere, which are happening in the French community? I am saying these things for three reasons. The first one being, today we are living in a great blessing. Today we are living in a blessing in which we can worship our Lord, in which we are not being massacred just for saying Rabbuna Allah. You need to remember that there are brothers and sisters in Islam out there, in different parts of the world, who are in a great difficulty just because of their faith. Not because of anything else, just because they are saying Allah is our Lord. We need to recognize this blessing. We need to think about it. And we need to thank our Lord for these great blessings. Many people in different parts of the world are being massacred just for their religion, just for their faith and nothing else. Just because they are saying Allah is our Lord, they are being massacred. So we need to thank our Lord for this blessing. To be able to live in the context in which we are living today, being able to come to the masjid freely, being able to talk about our religion, to teach our religion, to advise and remind ourselves about the commitments of our religion freely is a great blessing. And Allah Azza wa Jal, He makes it clear that the blessing of al-amn, the blessing of being in an environment, in a secure environment, is a great blessing. Allah Azza wa Jal, what does He say about Quraysh? أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا أَنَّا جَعَلْنَا حَرَمًا آمِنًا. When He reminds Quraysh, when He reminds the people and the tribe of Quraysh, the disbelievers of Quraysh, when He reminds them about His blessings, one of the blessings that He reminds them about is أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا أَنَّا جَعَلْنَا حَرَمًا آمِنًا. Do they not see that we have put a sacred place that is flourishing with safety? A place that is in which there is safety, there is security. وَيُتَخَطَّفُ النَّاسُ مِنْ حَوْلِهِمْ, while other people around them are being in chaos. And Allah Azza wa Jal has reminded them with this blessing. In the same way as Allah Azza wa Jal has reminded those disbelievers, we need to remind our brothers and sisters, believers today, that this is a great blessing. And as is the case with many blessings, we do not think about them unless we lose them. So thank Allah Azza wa Jal. وَقَالَ لَإِنْ شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. And if you thank your Lord, He certainly will grant you more. Think about these blessings and thank your Lord for those. And think about your brothers and sisters being killed different elsewhere in the world, just for the sake of saying Allah is our Lord. This is the first reason why I'm talking about this subject. The second reason being, we need to be thankful to the people of this country. We need to be thankful to the citizens amongst which we are living. We need to be thankful to a country which is allowing us to freely worship our Lord. We need to, Allah Azza wa Jalla has made this clear again. لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من دياركم أن تبروهم وتقسطوا إليه. Allah Azza wa Jalla, what does He say? He says that Allah does not forbid you. Allah does not forbid you from those who do not fight you because of your religion. They do not expel you from your houses to be just. But the word in Arabic carries more meaning than just to be just. Allah Azza wa Jalla, what does He use as a word in Arabic? لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من دياركم أن تبروهم. This word bir cannot be simply translated by being just to someone. This word bir was used only in the context of the parents. When we hear birrul walidain, it has been used so far as I know, in only two contexts. When behaving with our parents, we need to show the bir, we need to show that high standard of behavior. And it has been used in the context of the non-Muslims who are being just towards Muslims. لا ينهاكم الله, do not forbid you from being just towards those who do not expel you from your house. This is our duty. We have to be righteous. We have to show the people, as long as they're just, we have to show them, and we must treat our fellow citizens with justice, dignity. Maybe that one day, when the fog of the media created by the media around Islam, maybe when this fog disappears, maybe that they might embrace this religion, maybe that they might turn back to their fitrah, maybe they might turn back to this beautiful religion. And as I say, pay attention to the word which is used in this verse, which is al-birr. Al-Tarafi, he says, al-birr a'la anwa' al-khuluq. Allah Azza wa Jalla, the word that He has used in this verse is al-birr. Al-birr is the highest of all behaviors, is the best of all behaviors. If there is a behavior that we should adopt, is the best when dealing with non-Muslims. We need as well to be careful, and that's the third thing why am I talking about this speech today. We need to be careful about the way we portray Islam today. If we cannot be a good ambassadors for Islam, at least do not be a bad ones. At least do not push people away from Islam. Islam in the media or everywhere is not seen through the texts. The texts are perfect. Allah Azza wa Jalla, what He has revealed is only goodness for humanity. But unfortunately, the media is not looking into the texts. The media is not interested in Quran, in the way Islam is understood through the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. The media is not interested in that. The media is interested in your mistakes. The media is looking into your behavior, whether, and that's how they understand Islam. They understand Islam through Muslims, not through the text of Muslims. And we need to be careful of the way we portray Islam. We need to be careful of the way we behave in every day. As I said, if you cannot be a good ambassador for Islam, at least do not be a bad one. At least do not push people away from Islam by adopting bad behavior. And I will just tell you about one story which has happened in the same land in which all these events have started from. In the same land, I have someone who reverted to Islam. That person, he has adopted the best behavior he could with his mother. His mother was living alone, and nobody was going to see her. Nobody was paying attention to her. She did not revert to Islam straight away. He was patient with her for years and years. For many years he was patient with her. He was showing her the right behavior. And one day when she was on the bed of the death, she recognizes that that behavior can only come from a religion which is the perfect religion. And she said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, and she died on this stage. Just think about the reward. Just think about the reward of that person who has changed the fate of his mother from being this believer to ending her life from Islam. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, من كان آخر كلامه من الدنيا لا إله إلا الله دخل الجنة. He said that whoever his last word from this worldly life is La ilaha illallah, he will enter the paradise.